Hello. Hello. Hey ho. Hi ho. Hi ho. Hi ho. I'm off to work I go, running on the treadmill and talking to all my friends. Hi ho. Hi ho. I'm on the work we go. We're busting ass and kicking ass. Hi ho. Hi ho. Good morning. I'm a little bit early. I got shit to do today, you guys. Dan's home. Raining on my parade, of course. Fuck. This guy comes home, clothes everywhere, suitcase, food, wrappers. Woke up to that shit again. Man, it was nice. Man, it was nice. Today's eyebrow day. Today's eyebrow day. Today is eyebrow day. Hot yes. Yes, I'm tired. I'm tired. I drank, you know, a couple glasses at the casino, and then I came home and had a mega glass before to drown my sorrows. You know what I mean? Drown my sorrows in the bottle as my vacation was coming to an end. It made me so very sad, but it's a fate we all must face. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Today, my depression is bad. I'm not in a good place. Brent, I'm here for you, bro. I'm here for you. So, eyebrows. And after I look like Groucho Marx or the Angry Birds, I'm going to be walking into Target because I got to get some shit done. I'll be right next to Target, so fuck, people are going to be looking at me. Yes, I just got my eyebrows done. I think I need to make a sign. No judging. Eyebrows done. Oh, thanks, Kathy. I appreciate that. Yeah, Erica, sometimes you just can't. Give them an extra something in their lunch. And if they get hungry, they can nibble. Depression was bad yesterday. It comes in waves, right? And it depends on Brent and Erica, what's your weather like in your area? You know, if there's no sun shining and you're in that slump already, man, it sucks, right? Man, it sucks. So it's hard. You got to find those things that pull you out. You know, gambling. Oh, that's just me. Never mind. Music, walking, sitting outside, taking deep breaths. What else? Because sitting there inside the house in doom and gloom does not help. No, it doesn't. Ohio had tornadoes. Oh, y'all are going cuckoo. This world, not y'all. No, it took it away. Lisa, it took it away. I could probably have LV luggage at this point in my life. I could probably have a whole set if I just learned not to gamble. Shh, don't tell them. Yeah, you guys are getting some. Hi, Dodo. How you doing? Shoot, I feel like I have to poop. I feel pressure in my anus. Hopefully it's just a fart. Anywho, or else I'm gonna have to go really quick. I'm definitely not perfect in everything I do. I can tell you that. So I thought, let me try to get on early, get my run over. Maybe I will. God, I'm so uncomfortable right now. I don't know what's happening in my colon. Running is very difficult when you have pressure in your ass. I'm just telling you. Do Dan and I ever argue about an argument that happened in the past? No, because Dan doesn't remember half the arguments we had in the past. And he wouldn't even remember an argument from yesterday. I do. I remember those arguments. Yeah, I think I'm a little constipated. I am, because before I came out, I had a little dingleberry and that was it. So, fuck. Hi, Nancy. Yes, Matt. Dan woke him up early to give him his antibiotic. So, get this infection underway. I gotta check out his foot when he wakes up and make sure there's been no changes. And we'll do another soaking today. Soaking the foot, not soaking on the bed. Y'all know what soaking is? We talked about this yesterday, but nobody, anywho. So hopefully he'll be fine. Before he went to bed, I doused it with hydrogen peroxide again. You know, and sleeping. That's sleeping. A glycerin, I have those, but you know, yeah, Mormons do it. A good poo will help me. Bactine spray, yes. So they got some Hibiclens for his foot. Back in the day, he used to love Blue Boro. I need some money, so you can call me. You can call me. It'll be a $550 fee just to speak to me, though. And a follow-up, I'll break it in half, $250. But it'll probably need a follow-up after the follow-up, and then a follow-up after the follow-up. And then that should be about even. You know, I give my wonderful intelligence for you for free, girl. You know, free. I have such a wealth of knowledge, and my girl has been red-free. She's been tar-free, she's been ear-free, and she's been red-free. So I'm doing something right. I'm really not doing anything, so, you know. Okay. I'm trying to assess if I have to poop or if it's just gas. I don't know. It's not telling me. Yeah, it's sunny, but it's so windy and gross. Like you couldn't be outside. Push it real good. I think I'm gonna have to poop at some point. I don't know, but I don't like the feeling. I fell asleep. I don't know, or I just have a lot of gas. Y'all start gonna hear some things in a minute, like Grandpa last night. How did you sleep? I slept okay. I fell asleep right before Dan got home, and then he got home and, you know, loud, annoying, you know, doesn't know how to be quiet. So I know no pushing. Shit. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go either pass gas or poop. Give me a minute. Hold on. I'll get Dan out here for you.
Hello. What the hell? Where is she? Where is everything? How's everybody doing? I got drafted to come out here. She's using the restroom. So, how is everybody? I'm back from DC. Had an amazing trip. Good morning, everybody. And this morning I'm to go take care of all the stuff that I missed when I was gone. Welcome back to that same old school we talked about. I did not see the president. I did go to the White House, but they didn't even get us in the gate. We just got close to the White House. They brought us there for content opportunities. But I will be talking to the president soon because that's the next after the Senate. Oh, you saw the Mama Top video. She posted on the Patreon. I told Danielle not to post that publicly because on social media, just because I didn't want to take advantage of those relationships. I just thought it was So if you saw it, great on the Patreon. But I told her not to post. It was not a big deal. I just asked her, hey, come say hi to Danielle. And she kind of surprised, I'm saying, Danielle, you'll never guess who I met. And then she put her head in. She was absolutely wonderful. She's just like you see on the TikTok. There was absolutely no difference whatsoever. She's an amazing person, as were all the other creators. Really amazing, an amazing group of people. I mean, I'm honored to have met all of them. And the amazing thing is, this group of creators was not homogeneous in their politics, not homogeneous in their geography, their social class. I mean, this is a random grouping of people in America that gives me hope, because I sat with people with the complete opposite political views as myself, and we had a mutual bond, and we were able to sit there and respect each other and have conversations the way we should have conversations. Hey, this is how I feel. I understand how you feel. I understand your reasoning. If I felt like that, I see it. We agree on what's important. We agree on, we're Americans. We agree on most things, or maybe issues we don't, and we bonded. It was really incredible. And that was true with just such a diverse group of people that were able to come together as Americans fighting for a common goal, the First Amendment. So it was pretty damn cool. You're in Ireland, Sarah. Guess what? If you watch yesterday's video, when we were walking out of the damn hotel, this motorcade, police, the black fucking SUVs come pulling up, and I'm sitting there with my sister. I don't know who the hell is this, Biden? What the hell is going on? And I'm sitting there, literally 3 feet. We're waiting for our cab. We're right there when they get off. I pull out my camera, and I'm going to catch whoever the hell this is. And it turned, and while I've got my camera out, somebody came running over to me. What are you doing? Like I was, I don't know, whoever the hell I was, but when I said I'm waiting, my bag's fine. And it was the Prime Minister of Ireland. It was the Prime Minister of Ireland.
Bye.
And we talked to people from the Irish State Department.
Okay,
that was pretty cool.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Anyhow. Yapping. We'll never get him off. Never. I was trying to get back on. I was done pooping. I just pooped. Dan, make sure you shut the door when you go in, because the wind blows. Yeah, no, he had. Watch. Okay, shut. He had a really good time. So he's happy. His head's big. I don't even know how it fit in the house. Sorry, I had to poop. It was a poop. Needed to come out. I feel better now, I think. I don't know if there's more left, but hopefully it could wait until I'm done. Anyhow, what's going on? Happy birthday, Stella. Do we still celebrate those birthdays? Is there a certain age that we stop celebrating? Well, good. I'm glad you're here, Stella. Hi, Courtney. How's your mamili? Mamili? What's that? Hello in Long Beach. Jean. How is Granddad your stepdad? Well, it takes a woman to marry a man, and then they bring in children into their relationships, and that's how one becomes a step-parent. Yep. That's how one becomes a step-parent. So in my situation, since Ed is not my biological dad, that would take my mother to marry Ed, and therefore he becomes a stepfather, right? However, there's no fathering in our relationship, ever. So you can just take the father out of it, because there was no such thing. How does one become, in my bag, how does one become a step-parent? Well, we've already talked about it. it's gonna take a minute because not everybody knows about it. You would think everybody would know about it with all the tabloids because I'm famous, you know? And with my mom's obituary like background wallpaper. But shit, there's still a lot of people who still don't know. Abracadabra, poof, shit, Bluetooth. Give me a minute. Bluetooth! Bluetooth! Hi, dudes. Shit, I can't go step on a kid and say, bam, you're a step parent. I mean, you could. Technically, you can do whatever you wanted to. I don't know. So yes, it's not that hard. It's not. Did you and Dan get married first? That would not have been okay in the court of law. That would not have been okay in the court of law. At the age that we met. So no. My madre married the old man when I was, I don't know, some age. I don't remember anymore. They started courting when I was 5. So that wouldn't have worked. So they married before Dan and I. Anyway, Ed was married to her mom. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. Hi, Diana. Yeah, he was married to my mother. Blanket statement once again. Ed and my mom were married. Y'all, Ed and my mama were wed in a courthouse in technically Nashville, Tennessee, because he came following us. Fuck. I was so sad that day. I didn't even want to go to the wedding. Shit. And I cried for the rest of my life until I moved out of my house at 19. And there you have it. And now, I take care of him. I can't escape him. Lord help me. Here I am, living the life and taking care of a man that, anywho. But yes, everything's fine. Everything's fine now. I appreciate him for the person he is today. And I love the person he is today. I never loved him back then. I despised him. And I didn't think he was good for my mama. I didn't think he was good for me. And I wanted, you know, the old fairy tale of kids wanting their parents to get back together, which is fantasizing, right? Because it never really happens for the most part. I take care of his yeah. She was a single mom in San Jose, California, working for a local dentist in Sunnyvale. And Dr. Edward Salinger, DPM, worked a couple doors down from Dr. Fernando, DDS. And after months of my mom working for Dr. Fernando said, Janice, I think you should meet the podiatrist next door. He's single. He would be good for you, your daughter. You know, he worried about my mom being single, struggling, you know, doing her thing. And that's how they met. First date at McDonald's. First date, McDonald's. You know what I mean? First date, cup of coffee. They took a walk to McDonald's. And there you have it. Just because people are married over 20 years doesn't mean they love each other. It's a very complicated situation, one that we're not going to get into. But you can think about what you want to think about. My mom and Ed, no, it wasn't roses, unicorns, and chocolates. He's a very strong-willed man, and a lot of not great qualities. But needless to say, we're focusing on who he is today. So, yes, my mom, right, married Ed. They fornicated. Ed left his seed in my mom's egg, and they made Josh. So, Josh is half me and half Dan. So, yes, Josh became, out of the typical birds and the bees situation. Just in case you didn't know how kids were made, there was clarification. You know what I mean? I run anywhere from 3 to 5 miles with a walk too. Hi, Emily Jones. So you and Dan were step siblings. Technically, right? Technically, but no. That makes sense? But no. But if you want to put everybody likes to put technicalities on everything. So basically, what you're saying is stepfather, step brother, sister. Well, if that's the way you want to look at it, that's on you. But we didn't grow up together. We didn't spend a lot of time together. We started spending more time together as a family when Josh came around. So Dan is not my half-brother, Rufus. Again, understand how the dynamics of the birds and the bees work and the DNA involved. Anywho, fuck. Anywho, I don't want to sit and hyper-focus on this bullshit because people are coming in and people are like, what? What'd you say? Who? What? When? Where? Step siblings? Who? Half brother? Who's that? Fuck. If you guys want to see the story, it's on my live on YouTube on 2:15. There's also the next day on 2:16 pictures we share. Dan is also involved in that conversation. Yeah. Your brother? Fuck. So you're backcountry? No. Nope. Not. I'm from the South, but not that way. I don't feel my mother. My mother's dead. She hasn't been alive for 18 years. But if she were alive, I would love to film her. I wish she were alive so I could film her. No subway. No subway. Nope. Not gonna happen. If you want to hear the story, because so many people are, and I just don't want to chase my tail all live about that. It is what it is. So judgmental, but if you want to hear the story and hear Dan talk about it, you can go to my live on YouTube, dated 2/15. The backwoods, where we spit, where we chew tobacco all day, don't go to the dentist, brush our teeth, and we live on the bayou. Yes, Grandpa's birthday is coming up. Good morning, Misty. I'm already spoken for, Manuel. I can prove it. I can take out my dentures and show you. Yep. Anywho, it's a great story. Dan cries. Get your tissue out. I think I cried too. Fuck. The family took it fine. Everybody kind of knew. It wasn't a big secret. There was just no confirmation until we confirmed it. Basically when we moved out and came up here to go to school, and he went to law school. So nobody thought any weirdness of it. Nobody thought it was normal, right? It was a normal situation. So everybody was happy. Ed was ecstatic because it kept his family even closer, right? No split ups, no nothing. It kept it even more close. And then by the time we had babies, they sold their house in the Bay Area and they built a house in Shingle Springs to be closer to my kids. And that's why Ed was always here. He was the closest to us. He was the closest to us. And they were here all the time, going out to lunch on the weekends, being around the grandbabies, coming to their sporting events, all that stuff. So I wish I still had that, right? I wish my mom were here today, still supporting her granddaughters and their adventures, her grandson, and then now on to the Nuggets, you know? I was telling y'all last night that her and I would have been, you know, spending every weekend together, following them around. She would be with me. And I, unfortunately, missed out on that. The kids have missed out on that. And Josh's kids have missed out knowing their grandmother. And that's one of the hardest things for me. So, you know, my kids got a little introduction to her. Jennifer was probably the one who probably remembers her the most. Hannah has memories, and Andrew, of course, doesn't. But I was so lucky. You know, I was lucky. She was at my wedding. She saw my kids. Josh didn't get the same thing. Yeah, it's hard, Sarah. I wasn't close with Ed, right? I wasn't close with Ed ever until, you know, I started taking care of him. And then, like I said again, and then I said again, what was I saying? I had a brain fart. Fuck. Oh, it's kind of been healing for me, right? Healing my past with Ed. 44 years I've known the man, you know? And it wasn't easy. It still wasn't easy. And I said, this year is probably the first year I would say I love him in all my life that I've known him. Never thought I would say that. Nobody ever thought I would say that. And here I am saying that, so fucking crazy. Even my aunt almost rolled over. You what? What'd you just say? Girl. Oh, Helen, I know. My mom's been gone for 18 years. Yep, 18 years. Hi, Sean. Josh was 18, so 22? 22, because he's 40. Did I do that math right? Yeah, so when I talk about, you know, letting things go, right? We are burdened with our own shit. We are burdened with our own traumatic experiences. We're burdened with, you know, choices in life. Parents divorcing, parents remarrying and not getting along with that family or whatever it is. I speak from experience. I had the most anger towards that man. And we're not going to talk about it, so don't ask about it. Because that's not what we're here for. We're here to remember him how he is today. And if I was able to let go of all the bullshit in those, you know, 42 years of trauma and anger that I had, y'all, and take care of him at the end of the day, you know, y'all can let shit go, right? Y'all, oh my God, Letitia, that's funny. Y'all gotta let it go. And that's why I say, my thing is, I always say, you know, it's up to us. It's up to us to keep trudging forward without all the shit on our back and slowly working through those things. Well, Dodo, I had really kind of no dad either. You know, the one father figure. And Dan thinks that part of my resentment towards Ed was because I wanted my dad, right? I wanted my dad. So he thinks, you know, some of it is probably underlyingly correct, but there were so many other things that played into my anger with him. you know. So I think that was a little bit of that. But I wanted my daddy, you know. I didn't grow up in a very healthy environment. And I blame him, you know, I blame him. And rightfully so. Yeah, forward is the only way to go. I just said it was not my daddy. No shit. With Josh Close Ed. Hi, Sean Bach. Ed is close to all of his kids. You know, Ed is he loves all his kids, but he's not a very deep person. You know what I mean? He's not deep. It's all just, you know, your standard questions, like I told you. You know, when he would come over every day, how do you feel today? Great. What'd you do in school? I ate a purple dinosaur. Oh, that's good. Hey, Andrew, how are you? Good, Grandpa. What did you eat today? I had a black widow spider for lunch. Oh, that's great. Hey, Hannah, you know, in processing, he doesn't process. He asks the same, he's just surface. He's just very, you know, repetitive in his questions. He never reached below those things. He's just incapable, right? It is hard, Sarah. It wasn't easy. I was kind of forced into letting the anger go, right? It wasn't something that I probably would have ever done if I didn't have to take care of him. I probably would still not like him today, right? It took me a good year and a half to work through all that mess, you know, all that mess. So now I was kind of forced, you know what I mean? I didn't have a choice. I had to let it go because I wanted to do it for my husband. It was something that I did and I sacrificed for my husband because he wanted to do it for Mark and help Mark out, and nobody else was stepping up to the plate, you know? So I was forced. Not forced, but you know what I mean. It's probably a wrong word to use. And I did it. I didn't ever think, you guys, I'm telling you, my mom's like blown away right now. My aunt, when we talked about it, was just like, girl, I cannot believe it. She knew Ed, you know? She knew Ed. He was not well liked. No, Grandpa's not on the live yesterday. He went to bed. No, I'm not explaining why I'm angry. We're not gonna go there because part of not talking about our relationship for so long on social media was because we did not have to get into the depths of the man Ed used to be. We want to focus on who he is today and the journey we're on today with him, right? So a lot of the reason why we left all that out because of all the questions. Well, why? What did he do? What was so weird? But you guys know who he is today. For the last 3 years, you have known a man no other way. You guys talk about dignity. You know, you talk about all these other things that you want us to uphold. Delving into his past is not a great, you know, I mean, he didn't commit murder, you know, he wasn't a drug addict, he didn't drink, he didn't abuse anybody. He was just a difficult man, liked things his way. Some would say not a likable man, but we don't want to focus on that. So, what attracted your mom dead? I think it was security, Nat, if I'm being honest. Security. She was alone. She was single. You know, she had a 5-year-old kid. She moved across the country with her. And I think at that point, mothers do what they need to do. Mothers do what they need to do. They look for security. Yes, and you know, AK Woman, I am his biggest supporter. I'm his biggest protect her. I didn't go to Washington, D.C. because I wasn't okay with leaving him on the fly, right? I wasn't afraid. I was just afraid, right? There's things I like to have set in place. There's things that I wasn't ready for. And I was protective. So I keep staying home to take care of him, right? My mom moved from the South running from problems, if you ask me. I don't know what they were, don't ask. But I think her primary, she fucked up in life. You know, she fucked up in life. Yeah, the next calling number. She really fucked up in life. She had a one true love, went through hell with that relationship, and met my dad, who was handsome, charismatic, took her mind off of her love, and ended up pregnant with me, and in a marriage that didn't last very long, and then whatever else her demons were. You know, she should have waited for Steve. She should have waited, but she didn't. She was stubborn. She was scared. I don't know. And so I think she needed a change. All her family was there too. So she literally uprooted us and brought us to California. Now, my uncle was here. My uncle was here doing flea markets in LA. So we went with him for a while, and then we went to San Jose. I have no idea why. I don't know why. I don't know. But we ended up there, and that's where Dan and Ed and my mom met. My mom and Ed were married till her last breath of life. So a long time, 20 plus years. Yeah, I mean, to me, honesty is the most important. Especially when you have a platform. Honesty, integrity, talking to people, relating to people, and sharing my experiences, my wisdom is from our experiences. So to me, it's very important to be an open book in my platform, to show you who I am, to show you the type of person I am, to admit my faults, my weaknesses, and I do all that because I think too many people on these platforms are hiding, you know? They're not proud of who they are. They're insecure, and some of their stuff they do is to hide their insecurities, and it's not worthy, you know? It's not worthy. To me, when I look for people more like myself that seem real, seem honest, like to make fun of themselves, you know, blah, 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 biscuit. I want down-to-earth people. I want relatable people. I want people who aren't being fake. I want people who don't use fucking filters. I hate filters. Women, stop using filters. Age does soften people. I think we're getting the true Ed now. You know, Nina lady. Misty, thank you. I think we're getting the true Ed now. I think he wasn't able to want to fuck things up because, you know, but it was very hard on Ed. And I think that's what carried over. Very stoic, very prideful. You know, he controlled everything because of whatever he was taught, right? And that carried over. He didn't really show emotion. I told you all last night, the first time Dan ever saw Ed cry was when we left the hospital after my mom, we thought she had a stroke, and we found out that cancer was in her brain, right? It's the first time he's ever seen his dad cry. He's a very prideful man. And I think it's old generational stuff. I am man, you must listen. I run the roost, you know? I tell you what you can spend the money on. And if I don't like it, guess what? There was hell to pay. So that's the type of man. That's hard, you know? It's gotta be give and take, but it was just his way. But that, again, I always say, And I tell my kids the same stuff. You either break out of your mold that you were raised from, or you stay in it. Not a lot of people can break free, so they stay in it. And a lot of the Salinger men have the same characteristics because that's what they know. They break out of what they want to break out of. Very interesting bunch. So, anywho, yeah, and he was all like an example of which is, you know, our washer and dryer broke, and he threw a fit, bitched, complained, didn't want to spend the money on it, and it went on for like 3 days of him bitching and complaining, and then of course finally that weekend they went and got a washer and dryer. But that was just with everything. It was always an argument. But I think really the true Ed, I think it was always in there, right? I mean, he's always been very family oriented. He loves his family. His family come first, but his way, right? His way. And he, I think we're seeing that softer side now, because I think now we all have different, hi Hot Mess Heather, I thought of you the other day. I think about, you know, I think he's still there, you know, so I have a lot of theories behind why he is the way he is today. Now, when he first came up living with me, we fought. We bickered, just like, you know, we did our whole lives. You know, he wanted to control me in my house, and I was like, hell no, bitch, you're in my house. You know, I'm allowing you to be here. It's kind of a battle of the wills, and that's how we were the whole time. So it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It took me 3 months of hell, crying, anxiety. I thought I was dying. I literally thought I was dying. I thought I was dying. I had an elephant on my chest every day. And I finally said to myself, like, it's gotta be him or me. You know, I can't do this. And it's not fair for me to have to do something that I can't do and be in my own house and have to feel the way I did throughout my childhood. Fuck that. Fuck that. You know, I can't do that. And somehow Dan pushed me into social media, and it worked. Maybe he had a plan. Maybe that's what he thought. Maybe he thought he was holding on to as much hope as he could, right, for me to help and not have to because they knew at that point, if Dan couldn't do it, he would have been in a home, right? Because Mark couldn't do it by himself. He's difficult. It's not easy. You know, he challenges Mark every day. Well, I want to see the note. I don't believe you. It's my house. He's very stubborn. And when you're dealing with that shit all day long, the amount of stress, people, oh, you need patience. No shit. Just go with the flow. No, doesn't work that way. Because when he thinks it's his house, he starts doing shit. I don't want you watching TV. Turn off the lights. So you have to remind him it's your house for those reasons. And with Mark, for some reason, he always challenged him on that. So for me, it was just easy. It was easy. If something happened, I wish I would have remembered what created and what allowed me to, I think it just, social media made me see my own flaws, you know? People were worried, you know, people were pointing out my tone like 3 years ago. And I was a little harsher with him, but I was still learning how to deal with him and all my past anger. And I started seeing things in myself that people didn't even see, right? Because I was reflecting, because I saw videos and I thought, God, I don't like that, you know? I don't like that. So I started making little changes in myself, not what people actually saw. It's the stuff that was deeper that I was witnessing. My sadness, my anger, the things that I can only see, we can only see in ourselves. And I started working on myself. I started enjoying social media. I had an outlet. I had a way to cope. And in that process, it allowed me to start changing myself, my healing, right? Fixing myself as a person and as an individual. I was lost, you know? It helped me grow. So I am, so it helped me. You know, people are like, you're too stressed. You need to lay out the social media. It seems like it's a little bit too much for you. No, social media has been a blessing to me, you know? Social media has been a blessing to me. A blessing. Because it's allowed me to see within myself and make my own changes. I didn't need therapy. I've been in therapy. Never liked therapy. And that never did anything for me. And I just didn't like the way they handle things. Yeah, thank you, user. I appreciate that. Yeah, he wouldn't marry me. So I'm telling you, I promise you, if I could do it, if I could let go of those things, you too can. Now, it's not, you know, if you saw the video the other day, when he slapped my hand away, when I said, stop picking, you know, and he went like that, and he gave me that look. Oh, Mandy, well, welcome. And he gave me that look. People were like, oh shit, look at that look. That's what I lived with. That look. Your therapist fell asleep? Oh my God. That look, that like, yeah, I don't even want to go into it, but he's feisty, you know? I don't know, Kiki. Probably not. Probably like another 20, 30 minutes maybe. So yeah, it's look and kill. And now some of you have seen that. You know, my Zoomies have seen, you know, a lot of those behind the scene things, you know, where they have a better look into Ed because they've been in my house for a year and a half. And so they see more of the dynamic. So they can see the glimpses of the man he was, you know. You guys don't get a lot of that. We leave a lot of that out. Now, I showed it the other day, right? Because a lot of people have told me, please, can you show me some of the crazy moments? Because that's what I deal with, you know? And I think it's important when we are showing Alzheimer's, dementia, I think it's important to show a little bit of everything, right? Now, there's moments where I was very firm and I was to the point and people didn't even like that, you know? Why is she talking to him like a child? Why is she yelling? Why is she being so rude? Where's Dan? Dan needs to come back and save him. What do you think Dan does? Do you not think Dan doesn't yell? Dan is the number one yeller. He grew up in a house of yelling. He learned from the master yeller. They yell. They're impulsive. They're reactive. Dan's yell is a lot louder than my yell. And sometimes you yell because you're frustrated. Sometimes you scream because you've had enough. When you've had a question asked to you back to back and 30 seconds at a time, the reset, and you are asked over and over again, you lose your shit. You lose your shit. Reality. Reality is that. Dan yells. He probably yells a lot more than I do throughout the day. I'm loud so he can hear me. You know, it's not yelling. I don't like the way she yells at him. That's communicating. And yesterday I sent a video to Patreon today, and those of you who watched it already, it was constant repetition. He couldn't hear me at all. And he had just gotten his ears cleaned. Go figure. So yes, you don't think I want to talk like that the whole time. Dan talks loud because he can't hear. It's genetic, their hearing loss. And so he talks loud. Like the video I did on Mrs. D. South NorCal 3. He is so high volume, right? I get stressed. It's like, why are we yelling? Oh my God, I didn't miss this. Well, I didn't miss that. You know, why are we yelling? My house is always so loud because Dan doesn't talk normal. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is when Dan say, oh my God, he's so much better, you know, with, yes, he's really good in some scenarios that I'm not so good at. We're two different people. We handle things differently, but he's not calm. You know, Dan is like, this is what Dan could do. He could get really frustrated, yell, and then the next 5 minutes he's like, hey Pop, come on. And I'm like, how the hell do you reset that quick? I can't reset, you know? I can't reset. Yeah, but you can't, tragically. You can't do that. You can't feel guilt over explosions. Fuck, you can't. Because you still did it. You know, we don't, the real Ed is who he is right now. You know, Dan, that's his father. You know, I think Dan lost a lot of childhood with his dad. If you really think about it, I talked about this last night. Dan didn't really have his dad. He lived with his mom. His dad moved on. Dan was kind of like that child who was caught, right, in that divorce. Everybody else was in college and out of the house, and Dan was just there taking care of himself, living with his mom. He really didn't see his dad very much. I would say, if memory serves me right, once Josh came into the world, then we started having more, things, and then Carrie had Aaron, which is her oldest, and Josh and Aaron are really close in age, and it was more of a family setting, so that's when things started becoming more like Sunday dinners, Saturday dinners, whatever. So Dan didn't really have a dad, if that makes sense. He didn't really have a dad. I was there. So I think that's, he's trying to preserve his father in the way he wants him to preserve him, which is how he is today, right? How he is today. Josh is my half brother, yes, and he's Dan's half brother. My first time I met Dan, I was 5. The first time I met Dan, I was 5. And then I didn't see him for years after that because I think I scared Dan away. But I had sparks in my eyes at 5. I was like, I have a friend. But he didn't come back for a long time. I think the next time I saw him was several years when we were visiting Ed's parents. We used to go every Sunday to Walnut Creek, or not Walnut Creek, but Redwood City to visit Ed's parents. And Dan would go or whatever, but I didn't see him for, I can't even remember, but I remember I was going, where's my friend? Where's my friend? Showed up one time and left really quick. Made him play house with me. Sit here. Damn. The fuck? Crazy. But I don't know life any other way, It is what it is. So yes, I'm not perfect, right? It's not I kind of always knew. Sarah, I always had that like every time I would see him type of a thing, I was like, I like this guy. I like this guy. And the older I get, when we would see each other, I was like, and he was like, stop looking at me, you're making me feel real uncomfortable. I was like the guy in the situation. What's up? Bored. Dan's running out of the house. Get in the car. Hi, Dak. I am on a Nordic track. I was the advancer. Until finally, I just got old enough, and he couldn't hold back. He was sexy, y'all. Back in the day, he was sexy. I was such an aggressor. And poor Dan, he's always like, "Why can't you be? Back in the day, you were so fun." We all are, honey. Back in the day, never mind. Never mind. I was fun. I was fun for a minute. I was. Poor Dan. Poor Dan. It is what it is, you know? You can't look back. You can rewind your memories and hopefully hang on to those, you know what I mean? Hang on to them. I said, honey, just rewind. Rewind like 20 years ago and just get you a little glimpse so your hands can take care of the rest. There you go. You know what I mean? I was flirting. I was. I remember, you know. I was horny. I was ready to get it on. But there's 6 years, depending on the time of, you know, like the year it is. We're about 6.5 years apart. So, you know, when you're older, it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, when I'm every year that's going by, you know, and I'm noticing him and he's like, shit. Too young. Too young. Still too young. Hey there. How you doing? Can you sit over there, please? I was cute myself, you know. And I always look, yeah. And you know, I always look older than I was. So when I was 13, I looked 16. You know, it's crazy. And I did. I mean, you know, family dinners, I was like, ooh, the cute one's here. Hey there. What you doing? Anyhow. Still too young. Get the fuck away. But I was cute myself. I was. Life. Who knew? Ed loved it. Ed was so excited. You know, when we told him we were moving out together and, you know, progressing, he didn't want it. You know he did, but I was too young. Are we ready yet? Nope. Fuck. So the you know he wanted it. I mean, come on. You know, come on. And he was hot as fuck. I wanted it so bad. God. He held me off. Fucker. Hey. What's up? He'd get up and go to the other room. He'd sit back on the couch. I'd sit right next to him. It's funny now. It is funny now. It is funny now. Dan was playing hard to get, and you know it was hard. Well, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I have a Paton. Yeah, the tingling. The tingling was real. Well, it probably was. I don't know. But he did hold me off for a long time. Longer than I wanted to, of course, but it is what it is. Fuck, hard to get. Now I can't get away from him. Where was that when I needed it? Fuck, he couldn't quench my thirst. I was too young. Fuck. Stop being all technical and shit. Dan is definitely compassionate. Yeah, I never said he wasn't, you know, but he is, he's not more, right, patient than I am. He's not more, you know, like anything, right, than I am. And that's what we were just saying, is that people want to make it about Dan, you know, and how good Dan is, and oh, he's such a great son. He is, but hello. You know, it's not just about Dan. We're a pair. We're a pair. It takes both of us to do the job well, right? So, you know, everybody wants to focus on Dan because he's the son, but I'm here too. And that's one of my biggest frustrations is that people always do that, you know? People always say that. Oh, Dan's such a great, he's so compassionate. He's so this, he is, but so am I. I'm the one who was able to get through my shit to help my husband out, who wanted to help out Mark because Mark was suffering to help his dad. It was up to me. It was up to me, right? If I wasn't that one person, if I didn't fix myself, he wouldn't be here today. And it doesn't matter who's more compassionate or who's more patient or who's more whatever. It took me, right? It took me. It took my hard work. And it still takes a lot of hard work from me. From me, right? People don't want to see that for some reason. But we are a team. But people want to focus on one part of that team, and it's not. It takes two, right? So that's what my friends were laughing at, is they were laughing at the fact that everybody's like, oh, Dan's so great. You know, he is. We're both great. I'm just over here by myself, twiddling my thumbs. Oh, Dan's, I stopped liking those comments too, just because it pisses me off. You know, are they saying that I'm not good? You know, are they just totally dismissing me? I'm tired of the passive-aggressive dismissal, you know? I'm tired of that passive-aggressive, I don't like those comments anymore. Oh, Dan's so great. Scroll. Scroll. He had Mohs surgery. Yeah. And imagine if your sis got all the credit, you know? Your sis got all the credit. You know, you'd be pissed. It's like, well, fuck this. It takes both of us. We're both great in our own ways, right? Dan does things differently than I do them. I'm more compassionate with him. You know, I'm more compassionate with him in a shower. Dan's not. Spraying everywhere. He won't touch him, you know? So, what's the word? We complement each other. Yeah. Victoria, why doesn't anybody want to help? You know, that question is such a, and not to bag on you or anything, but I hate that question. Well, where's Carrie? You know, where's David? Where's Adam? Where are they? They're at their homes. They're living life. It's not anybody's responsibility to help care for their parent. It's up to the people who want to do it. And that's it. Yeah, and Dan has said that, DB. Dan has said that. Dan's like, if Danielle wasn't here, the fuck, I couldn't do this. Because I do a majority of it. I do a majority of it. I know, Kathy, it's not as easy as you guys think it is, though. You know, it's the double standards, yeah. It's a double standard. Women versus men, daughter-in-laws versus real family. Again, I've lived with him for 44 years. Well, not really 44 years, but I've been with him since I was 5, right? They started dating. I know him more than anybody else. Hi, Jerry, how are you? How's the wife? Double standard is very real. Oh, she's just the dill. Dan, if it wasn't for Dan. Dan's like, why do you get so mad? I'm like, because it's like, hello? Woohoo! Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo-wee-hoo! Woohoo! Am I invisible? Can you see me? Now the trolls are gonna be like, oh my God, did you hear Danielle on her morning live on Friday, hour 65? Fast forward it, here's the clip of her jealousy of her husband. She's so jealous. Can you believe that she said that? She said that annoys her when people don't recognize her. It's not all about her. It's not all about her. Just another reason why I can't stand her. She wants to be the shining light. She wants to be front and center, and she's getting mad. I mean, like, seriously mad. Because her husband dominates. It's her husband. Her husband matters. She needs to take a back seat. Watch. Watch. Watch my live videos. Watch the idiot comments. Yes, Kiki, on YouTube. All my lives are recorded. Is there resentment? No, I don't have any resentment towards any of the siblings. With taking care of Ed, no, because I understand that it's up to the people who want it to be up to them. You know what I mean? So, do I get mad sometimes? You know, because they don't think about things like when they call and say, hey, Dan, do you want to go do this? And I'm like over here going, hello? I'm busy. You know, I gotta find out a place for Dad. You know, it frustrates me when they don't acknowledge that, you know, hello, we're taking care of your dad. So if you ask Dan to do something, you know, hey, do you think Mark or Danielle would watch Dad and you and I can do this? You know, something like that would be better. And I don't think I would feel as offended, but it doesn't. They do. You know? But you can't change people, right? I get frustrated, but I don't resent them. I might get mad, but I don't resent them just because I'm over here working my ass off. You know, I'm over here while Carrie gets to go to Washington because I wasn't comfortable leaving Ed, you know? So, yeah, I get angry, frustrated, but that's it, not resentment. They go home with themselves, yeah. They laugh, they giggle about, you know how we make fun of our situations to get through, and they laugh and they giggle, and sometimes I'm like, it is funny, but at the same time, like, what is it like to go home and not have to worry, you know, about doing anything, you know? Have to worry about getting somebody to bed, or worrying about him falling, or worrying about a fucking infected toe, and, you know, all that stuff. Hi, Pepper. Yeah, I didn't go because it was a 2-day notice, and I wasn't comfortable with trying to figure out, for 4 days is a long time, and I wasn't comfortable with leaving him. And good thing I didn't, like, because of his toe. You know what I'm thinking? Like, I just don't know if the toe would have been spotted as quickly as I spotted it. You know what I mean? So thank God I didn't go. Thank God I didn't go. So I think it could have been a lot more worse, you know, just because I shower him every other day, you know, not everybody else does that. So, you know, the toe could have been a lot worse, and I started cleaning it, you know, I started doing all this other stuff, and much worse. So thank God I didn't go. Just women are better at certain things. I went 5 miles, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it wasn't really that bad of a decision, you know what I mean, at all, for me not to go. You know how bad I would have felt? You know how upset I would have been had I gone and then come home to that? I would have been so fucking pissed, you know? So fucking pissed. Bye, Rebecca. So, you know, we do what we do.
you learned a lot today. You know, that's a hard thing with social media, is because so many people come and filter in and out, right? And although I love talking about my story, it does get redundant and repetitive, especially for the people who know, you know? And so it's hard to catch up, especially, you know, if we're not on that swing of explanations of things and stuff like that. But 2:15, the whole live, Dan and I are talking about it. So you can, if you want a good catch up, you could go and watch that live. We're not taking pops anywhere. Thanks, Jackie. Thanks for watching, user. I mean, really, thanks. You know, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my supporters and the people who respect me. Transparency is always, well, it can always be misinterpreted. People think it's an act. People think I'm full of shit. Whatever. We don't know what happened to his toe, but it's infected. That's all we know. So it could have been from dropping something on it, or it could have been from stubbing it, could be from a fracture, could be from diabetes, it could be from poor circulation. We don't know. We're trying to figure it all out. But the most important thing is we gotta make sure that he's got no blood clots, because he's swollen. His foot swollen is up to his ankle. So I gotta look at it today. Zoomies, any of you on, have you seen him walk out by chance? I don't think he's diabetic, but it's always an, you know, it's always something. You're welcome, Jan. Yeah. Traveling for Ed, yeah, even down the road is hard. Yeah, 15 years, wow, that's good. That's good. Yeah, so I'm caring for it. I've been nursing it. We'll have him soaked today at some point. I showered him yesterday. So he's clean and ready to mingle. He got his antibiotic. We woke him up this morning. And he'll take one later tonight. Could be bad, but circulation too. Yeah, you know, we enjoy, you know, Dan and I, our time together is doing the lives together. You know, we really enjoy doing those together as a team because they're fun for us. And, you know, so on and so forth. We also go on date night. We try to get out every Saturday for date night. So we're trying to do more of those things. I get breaks. I do. I do allow myself sometimes like a nap, 15 minutes or so, but whatever. I do allow myself some, I go to the casino once a week and allow myself to go and play and have a couple drinks and enjoy myself. 6 years, that's a long time. Who stays? Mark. Mark comes over. So what I'm going to try to do is do what I did this week. 2 days a week, I want Mark to come over and pick up Grandpa. So I got one, yeah, not the luggage, it's a tote. I got a tote. So what I would like him to do is do what we did this week. So there's 2 days a week that we get just a full day of not having Ed, right? With the monotony that comes along with it. So Mark would just pick him up, take him out to lunch, hang out, and then I'll go pick him up from his house. And it's really nice. It's really nice, you know, just to have that time and not to have to worry. And, you know, I could go out and do my things and Dan doesn't have to walk, you know, just a little bit helps. So I'm hoping to keep up with that. No, I told them if they didn't want me getting a caregiver, that's what they were going to have to do. Yeah, it is autumn. It is autumn. But I'm tired, you guys. I mean, I work constantly. That's, you know, I do work constantly, but I do it, you know. I like to keep my house a certain way. I like to rearrange a lot. I like to, you know, do my yard work. And it's hard to manipulate all that when, you know, you're caring for somebody. You can't do it all the time. So it is, Irma, it was so nice. Even just having, when Dan wasn't here and just having Ed gone, it was such a wonderful, like, it was so nice. I think Dan would appreciate it too. Oh, thanks, Lori. I appreciate that. So yeah, so it's nice. It's very appreciative, and it's something that, like I said, if you can't do this, then I'm hiring a caregiver, so we don't have to rely on people. And no, he has not been to Mark's house for over 5 months. Live I had to go to. Yeah, and sometimes you do. Sometimes I scream in my house. Sometimes I scream on my videos. Yeah, no, Dan does. Dan does. And if I had plans and said, I'm gonna go do something, he wouldn't care. But yeah, an empty house. I mean, that's the thing that I loved. It was just time for us to start taking care of him full time. We always knew there was going to be a point in time where it's too hard for Mark. There's two of us here. We have more to offer here. We live on, property. We have animals. Mark, lives in a track home development. It's just a little bit, there's just more peace here. He can sit in the backyard. He can enjoy the outside. We're in a safer environment. If he got out, neighbors know it's just not dangerous. There's not cars everywhere. And it was just getting too much to him, just getting too much to switch back and forth. My favorite slot machine. I've got several. I like the Wild Orchids. It's probably my ultimate favorite. He would never go to a senior place for daycare. Hell no. He would never go. Are you kidding me? He wants to be around his family. You guys, if you know anything about her story, you should know that. And not ask those things. Those things frustrate me. And I know sometimes you guys are new and you filter in and filter out, but Ed is always looking for his family. You think he's going to sit still in a fucking organized craft room with strangers that he doesn't know? No, it doesn't work that way. And he doesn't do crafts. He's never played games. He's never played cards. He's never played shuffleboard. He's never done any of those things. They have paid helpers. Oh, that would be nice. Mark, why are you here? Mark says, I'm hard to listen to, condescending to viewers. But yet you're here watching. Bye, Pam. And when I do this means use your brain before you write. Yeah, in a year and a half, it is hard. Nothing is easy, Life in general, as we speak, is not easy, right? Being a mom, having a family, having a house, having responsibilities, having bills, it's not easy. Stress, right? Stress. Yeah, he doesn't sort socks anymore. It's my job. Oh yeah, Mary, because in my mind, you guys, in my mind, there's so much more positive, right, that I have received from social media. So many more positive supporters, so many more, love and support out there. And people, tune into me because they relate to me somehow, some way. And I know along getting help from you guys, I'm helping so many people out there. So that keeps me motivated, and I have fun. I have fun doing it. So there is a lot of negative, and when I can overcome, some days I just can't do it, right? We're not all mentally stable every day. And so some days, even if there's probably 30, 40, 50 comments on a live, it's funny because I see people and they're in there, my supporters, my friends, my family, and they're in there ripping into them, It's like, yep, don't need to do that. But it's the community that I'm building. The community that I'm building is so important to me. And when I devote my time, I put my all into something. Like we talked about yesterday. About when I started this journey, I said, I'm not going to be fake. I'm going to be who I am off and on camera. I'm going to be true to who I am. If you have a problem with that, not. But the way I communicate with them, everything, if you think it's bad, then I won't do it, but I'm going to be me. And Dan's like, I don't care. Do what you got to do. I don't see anything wrong with it. But I do. I take the time to bond with my people. I take the time to invest in getting to know who you are. The people who show up every day, my regulars and all that stuff. Dan doesn't have that type of ability. It doesn't mean he doesn't like you any less, but I put my all into something when I do it. I'm trying to get to all the comments every day. Sometimes I don't and I fail. I've learned to let things go because as I grow, it's going to be more and more impossible to get to everybody. But I like the connection. I like having a connection with people. I like having inside jokes with people. Those things keep me going, you know? I could have a crappy day inside and think, fuck, I'm not in the mood. You know, and the minute I turn on my cameras, I come to life. I come to life, you know? Oh, nobody offends me, Cindy. I don't even know what you said. I come to life. And so that right there tells me, you know, to keep going. Meeting people in public. Meeting people in public is fun, you know? People, hey, Danielle, you know? Danielle? You know, that's fun. That's fun. You know, when people say, oh my God, I love watching you, you know? You're crazy. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You know, that helps me keep going. It is therapeutic. What would we do if TikTok is banned? I have a Patreon. I have an Instagram that I just started. And I have I have YouTube. I have YouTube. And, you know, so we're not going to be lack of anything. You guys will just follow wherever we are, right? That's it. Plain and simple. 9:30. Okay, so I'm going to get busy. I'm going to shower before my appointment, I think, just in case. So I don't know if I'm supposed to, like, it doesn't help that hang. Can you see him? Misty? Did you see him? So, my, did they fall out? Can you see the outline I was talking about yesterday? Now I'm gonna get a cup. I'm gonna start wearing a cup so y'all can't see what I'm talking about every day. Here's the thing with social media. It's all the fucking same. TikTok, Instagram, fucking Facebook. Y'all the same. So I might as well ban everybody. I'm sure that's coming anyway. Freedom of speech, you know, yada, yada, yada. Oh, yeah, you don't have any guilt. No guilt. Let it go. Is it set to private? I don't know. Is it? That's bad. Yeah, I don't think that helps that. It helps the other hang. You know, the other, you know, the Geo. But it doesn't. Oh, there's Diane. Oh, good old Diane. Diane Lutt is a pain in my ass. I don't even know why you're still here technically, because she goes on she likes to make, you know, her derogatory comments all the time, full of positivity, you know. And then her first thing she says on here is, seriously? Yes, Diane, seriously. I can't believe you still keep coming around. For somebody, no, not you, Diane Lutz. And you know, it's funny because I remember my main trolls. You know, sometimes I leave her on there just because people always comment, and she's not totally horrible. And sometimes she gives me some positivity. So she's one of those that like can't decide which side she's on with me. But I don't know, just, yeah. Ditto Diane, seriously. She's a fan. She's one of the trolls. Remember I said depends on her mood, exactly. There's troll 1, troll 2, and troll 3. She's a troll 3. A troll 3 is the troll that is so obsessed with you that they can't stop watching you, but you don't really do anything good for them. All they do is just bag on you. Does that make sense? She's a 3. You know, you have the troll number 1s are the ones who just filter in, filter out, say their mean things, and don't follow you. Troll number 2 are the ones that they follow you. Troll number 3s also follow you. They could follow, they could not. But troll number 2 doesn't take it as seriously. But occasionally, if you pop up on a FYP, they, you know, have to make some negative comment in passing because I bother them that much. But it's kind of like a tit for a tat. The 3s are obsessed, like you can't get rid of them. They're like a wart, like herpes on your vagina or your penis. They don't go away. You know, they just keep coming back because for some reason, they can't let you go. Stalkerish, you know what I mean? They're the people who, they're the people who start all the hate, the Reddits and, dig to get, criminal activity or criminal records, or look into your past and try to, give everybody your social security number, your net worth, how much my house costs, my address, those are the threes. You know what I mean? Hi, Marty. I did too many. Oh shit. No, I don't have any criminal activities, but they look for them. When you put yourself out there, you're open to criticism. I really hate when people say that too, Benji. No, Benji. No, Benji. When you put yourself out there, you put yourself out there for the people who enjoy you. The people who don't enjoy you, they should just keep skittling down the road like I do when I see somebody I don't like. I never would stop to say something to anybody because that's just rude. And it's not, well, you do it, it's your fault. You put yourself up there. You put yourself up there, it's your fault. No, it's your fault for being a fucking troll. It's your fault for not being nice, because I don't make it my fault when I don't like somebody, and I don't go on that fucking page and be like, you're an idiot, and scroll away. No, I scroll away. It's nobody's fault. It's easy to leave. It's easy to move on. It's easy not to comment. It's called compassion. It's called empathy. It's called kindness. It's called being a normal fucking human. That's all. You know what I mean? Benji, you're clueless. Grow up. I'm sure your mama would be proud of you. Anyhow, with that, and Benji, B-I-N-G-O, common courtesy, thank you. B-I-N-G-O, and Benji was his name, oh. Anyhow, I've spelled that wrong, but you know what I mean. Anywho, peace, love, happiness, I'm out like a trout. I got shit to do, I gotta prep for my eyebrows. I will look like Angry Birds tonight, so just know, when you see me, they're gonna be like this, probably. I'm gonna look horrible, but that's fine. It's part of the journey, hopefully, they settle and they look better, thicker, a little bit thicker. I want a little bit thicker. Oh, so anyhow, you guys remember, you are important, you are worthy, and you matter, especially Benji and Diane Lutz and all those fucking idiots. They do matter too to somebody. Somebody loves them in their family. Don't you have to? Anywho. Have a good day, spread love, kindness, compassion, be considerate of others. And just remember, if you have something to say, take a deep breath first, count to 10 and see if you still want to say it. 10 doesn't work for me. I can't. I just combust. Anywho, love you. Have a great day. See you later, alligators. After a while, crocodile. Stay warm, stay dry, stay safe.